This video is intended for those of you who are kind of done with the main foundational parts. That's the drums, 4 measures, 808, 4 measures that are slightly different. Well, they're almost exactly the same, slight change at the end of the 4th measure. Arpeggios, 2 measures, and the chords, 2 measures. Okay, so arpeggios are 2 measures that go throughout. The chords are introductory, so 4 measures, but 2 measures for the 4 chords times 2, 2, 4, and then they come back at the end. Okay, so besides adding some additional sounds and such, I want to go over some effects and go over the automation sweeps again for interest. So one of the things I showed the other day that I thought could be cool would be to take, say, from measure 29 to 33, so a 4 measure section, and put sweeps on it. Now, the issue is that you can't automate effects in Soundtrap, meaning I can't add an effect to this track and only have it turn on at measure 29. You can do that in most DAWs, Pro Tools included. So if I just go ahead and add a track, I'm going to add a drum track, get out of here, because what I want to do is I'm just going to take these 4 measures here of my drums. Now, we talked about merging regions and looping them, but here I have just 4 measures, and I'm copying. On a Mac, it's Option click, drag, and I'm going to drag it down here. So these are basically the same now. I'm using the vanilla kit, but there are no drums on this original drum track, but there are down here. I'm going to do the same thing for the classical guitar. All right, so I'm going to go find the acoustic classical guitar because I don't want to change that. All right, I'm not going to draw anything in, but I'm going to, instead of copying this time, I'm going to just steal these because I don't want them to play here. I want them to play down here, and I'm not zoomed in enough for this to fit. Now it does. Okay, so if I were to just keep playing, the only change right now that you're going to hear is that the drums keep going and no 808s. And there's a big volume difference. Okay, so classical guitar I have at around 11 o'clock. So I definitely still want that to be at around 11 o'clock. I could have also have duplicated this track and then just deleted everything that I didn't want, which would have saved me the volume change, but that's it. Okay, that's pretty much the same. Okay, so what do I want to do on these to make them sound different? I want to automate. So I click on the automation on, let's call that the power or show or hide automation. Click on automation, and I'm going to choose sweep. There are 5 different types: the muffled, hollow, nasal 1, 2, and 3. And because I'm not that familiar with what they sound like, I'm just going to choose muffled. As soon as I click on this line, that's kind of, in Pro Tools, I'm just going to call it an anchor point because that's what it's called in Pro Tools, this being your automation lane. And I'm going to drop that down, and then I'm going to establish another anchor, and over the course of this time, this filter is going to work on the drums. Now, I want to do the same thing on the arpeggios. So anything that's playing right now, I want to sweep. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so that works. I don't totally like it. I kind of felt like I overshot the muffle, like it's too muffled. the transition's a little stark. It also seems like a perfect opportunity. Now, just by clicking on this, it's not a power because they're still there. You see the lines actually that indicate that. It's show. So I'm going to go back and look. So this is kind of another look at some SFX. And I think, let's see what they got in. Ooh. No. Let's try that. Why not? I have no idea. Where'd that go? It's all the way back here. So I think it would be kind of cool to come out of this sweep with some kind of a riser, and I could go very easily to the sweeps. Now remember, you got to zoom in to get these in the right places, because I want that to go right up, and maybe even closer, because it goes down. Yeah, it's kind of cool, but because it goes down, the energy is not where I want it to be. So, wait, what did I just do? Yeah. I kind of want it to hit where the drums hit at its highest point of energy, of building. That. Okay, so that really helps. It helps a couple things. It helps with kind of the awkward transition of the muffle, and moving it helps with the energy pickup. Yeah, that's better. So let's listen to the original and just see.
And I'll kill another with two. So I let another.
Okay, so it still has the 808 going in it. We can experiment with that too. So this time, instead of doing what I did and having to match stuff, I'm just going to duplicate the track. I'm going to move it down here because it's kind of where all my automation stuff lives. I'm going to take these two, move them over, zoom out, and get rid of everything that I'm not going to use. Okay, so 6 of one, half dozen of another. It doesn't take much longer or shorter to do either one. So let's sweep. Let's bring down our anchor. Now this should probably be pretty obvious on the 808. Actually, I want something even more. That's not doing it for me. Now, what is this? Why can't I change? That's a little bit lame. Muffled, nasal. Give me something, people. What are we doing? Better. Actually, kind of weird. Like, really, really. Okay, let's see if we change these. Now, what is this problem? Like okay, it does. It's just kind of slow to react. Nasal, people. There we go. All right, I could go for days because it's not perfect. This is something you work on. You vibe it out, you see where you're going with it. I was thinking that what would be cool is maybe to see what would happen if I use this reverse deal to go into the automation. We could also add another instrument on here to kind of give it some texture. All right, but that's how to do automation. One more time on effects. If I want to add a different effect, say I want to add something to this reverse vocal reverb, I click on the icon, I click on, for example, I can add reverb. Reverb is the sound of walking into a huge auditorium or gym that's empty and yelling. So that tail, that extra, I can put it really high, see what it does. Okay, kind of nice. Kind of nice because you won't notice that tail that much over the extended. So, but effects. There's a lot of effects. They don't have a lot of things that you can tweak, a lot of different parameters. But if I wanted to, say, add delay, a delay is more like an echo. So as opposed to walking into an empty gym, you're walking over to the Grand Canyon and yelling, and you actually hear, hello, hello, hello. See what it sounds like. All right, so time is the amount of time in between the echoes. A good DAW, a smart DAW, and this is pretty smart, would set the time to the tempo, so those repeats were rhythmic, but I'm not sure about that. And mix is how much of the original sound is compared to the echo. So I didn't hear a lot of delay, so I'm bringing up the mix. Ooh, and it goes left to right a little bit because it's stereo. Okay, let's see what that sounds like in the mix. I pull up. Yeah, I still need to work on the muffle. The volume's too low. These things are too high. But there you go.